Cause I don't know if some people can relate to this, but most probably, yung mga taong lumaki sa broken families, mga breadwinners, would understand how it feels like being forced to grow up and be mature at such a young age. Bretman Rock has a perfect story and example for this one. Watch this.
My dad was interesting because the bitch like cheated on my mom with my maid growing up, and I was the one that kind of told my mom like, hey, because my mom left me in the Philippines with my dad. He hired this maid who he told my mom was a lesbian, and then my mom called one day and was like, hey, how's the maid, by the way? And I was like, oh, I was 8 at the time. And I was like, oh, they're fine. Like, dad's always kissing her, and like they're always massaging each other. And like I literally just heard my mom's heart drop like on the phone, and I was 8 years old, and I could already kind of comprehend like that she was hurt. And she came home after a week after that call, and while my maid was literally cooking she was cooking fish, and there's a lot of oil in that fucking pan, girl. And bitch, my mom literally just stormed in. Mind you, she didn't tell anyone she was coming home, so everyone was too shook to even react or stop her. And she just like slapped her with
No way!
Yeah, and like her hands were boiling, and I know all of this because I was eating oatmeal on the table, just watching all of this happen. But I was like so shook that my mom was home that I was like, wait, is that my mom? Like, is this happening right now? And she just dragged her out of the house as she was like, you know, and the floor was oily, so it was easily like my mom was like, the bitch was slipping and sliding. But to answer your question, that is my drive. Not my mom beating my maid, but like just the fact that I think I blamed myself for my parents separating for a really long time because I was the rat that told my mom about the maid. But I think because I felt like I caused my family's separation at a really young age, I think I kind of gave myself the pressure to provide because I was the reason why they didn't have a dad.
Did you hear that? Such a painful story. Yung pakiramdam mo, ikaw yung dahilan kung bakit walang tatay na kinalakihan yung mga kapatid mo. Pakiramdam mo, ikaw yung dahilan kung bakit nasira yung pamilya mo. Imagine absorbing all of that pain growing up. Probably we can say that Bretman Rock is already successful and living his life now. He's rich. He can provide for his family. But apart from the glitz and glamour, we can say that the Bretman Rock that we know today really has a lot of things being sacrificed during his childhood. We can all relate to that. I can relate to that. Also, at the age of 8, I was abandoned by my parents. And during those times, I really felt the need to do something for the family. I felt like I need to step up. I wanted to be successful. Not just because I wanted to make them feel like they're wrong for leaving me, for abandoning me. I don't want to prove anything. But I wanted to provide for my family. Rising above the circumstances and situations that are not your fault, being forced to grow up, being forced to mature, and taking the responsibility for the family will really create a lot of childhood trauma. I don't blame other people, especially people who grew up in a broken family setup, for resenting their parents. I cannot judge you. But I hope you will learn how to forgive your parents for not being able to love you the way you need it. And then also forgive yourself for going out and looking for that love in all of the wrong places. You know, we are all under the same hell. Lahat tayo merong pinagdadaanan. Dealing with the same devil. Pareho tayong may kinakaharap na problema, hindi natin alam kung paano tatalunin. Just different levels. Magkaiba lang tayo ng kinakaharap at desisyon sa buhay. May nauna, merong iba na lumalaban pa. Whatever struggle you are facing today, whatever past you've been through, please keep going. You didn't come this far to only come this far. You are not your past. You are more than your past. You're built different because you're meant for greater things. Laban calls.